Hello and welcome back to the Moneymatics podcast. My name is Omababala. Welcome to 2024. Yeah, I hope you've had a lovely Christmas celebration and you've come into the new year feeling all refreshed and ready for new things this year. One of the things that I'm hoping that we all achieve this year is a better financial status, a better financial health. And I'm very sure that, as you know, every time in the beginning of the year, people make resolutions, they make New Year resolutions, they make all these kind of things. Some people want to, it's usually, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to do this, I'm going to eat better, I'm going to be a nicer parent, I'm going to be a nicer child to my parents, whatever it is. People have resolutions. And so I was thinking, yeah, why not? If you fail to plan, then you've planned to fail. So, of course, it's good to have even financial resolutions or at least financial goals. We've talked about that before. So today I want to share with you three things that I would like you to do this year for your finances. Three things to do in 2024 to improve your finances. Yeah. But before I go fully into those three things, I want to talk to you about something that I've been working with myself, with my family, I would say probably roughly a year or so now, maybe more. I think we were working with it before we even knew that we were working with it. So I've been reading Dave Ramsey's book. He's a financial coach, you could call him that, and he writes books. He's a best-selling author, and this is not a paid advert. I'm just sharing what I've read, right, and even maybe watched on YouTube. So he talks about the 7 baby steps to being a millionaire. Yeah. So and I'm not going to go into the baby steps and all of that because this is not about him or about the baby steps. This is more just as a background to what I'm going to share with you in a few minutes. So one of the things he talks about is you need to get debt free. You need to, first of all, tackle all your debts, have no debts, and then you start saving, and then you start investing, and then you start growing your wealth. A little bit in that progression. You remove all your debts, you start saving more and more, and then when you have enough saved, then you go into investing, and then by the time you're investing, you're growing wealth, and then you are able to just use wealth to fulfill purpose. So, and that is a very good progression. I actually think that if you can do it, it's a way to actually get into wealth. And so I would encourage you, if you can do it, get rid of your debts, start saving, investing, and then growing wealth, which means that even before you start saving a lot of money looking at you in an account, you have taken care of all your debt. So this is something that I'm encouraging you to do. So, but anyways, leading up to what I want to talk to you about today, like I said, 3 things to do in 2024 to improve your finances. And number 1 on that list, you can guess, is to pick a debt and pay it off this year. So let me break that down. Many of us take loans. Some people use loan to buy their phone, loan to buy their new iPad. They get a credit card and they've put something on their credit card and there is something sitting in there, some minus, they have a car loan. We have a car loan, a private loan. They have Klarna loans. Klarna. Yeah, you heard that Klarna. It did you Jim because you know that you've been Klarnaing things online. You get into all these websites and you just put it on Klarna and it's sitting there. So this year I want you to pick a debt. Pick a debt. One of the things that Dave Ramsey talks about is the debt snowball, where you pick your smallest debt, the smallest amount of money you're owing, and you tackle that first, and then you go on to the next one, and then you go on to the next one. But this year, I'm just asking you, pick one thing, one loan that has been sitting there for a long time, and I want you to tackle that loan this year. So the fact that you borrowed money or you took a loan and it says, you can pay it back in 5 years or in 3 years, living in Sweden, there are so many things that we get in our mailboxes. Sometimes I know that we get these letters telling you, come and borrow money. It's just, you can borrow it for 5 years or 10 years and you only pay this small amount every month. But then for the next 10 years, you are stuck in this loan. So if you have such loans, pick one of them this year and say, this year, this loan, you are getting paid. Which means you're going to tackle it. All those extra money that you used to eat pizza and drink coffee, they're going to go into you paying off your debt. So pick a particular debt this year and choose to pay it off, which means you will use all those extra monies that you have to extra amortize those loans. You're going to call up your bank. You're going to tell them, I want to pay extra 1,000 today. Oh, I want to pay extra 2,000 today. I want to pay extra 3,000 today. And you're going to pay off your debt little by little. Trust me, this is tried and tested. Tried and tested until you get tired of some loans. They will not go. You just be sitting there because and like I said, because you took a loan that is supposed to be paid off in 2 years doesn't mean that you have to spend 2 years paying it off. You can pay it off in 10 months. Because you took a loan that is for 5 years doesn't mean that it has to wait 5 years sitting there and just taking your money to pay it off. Get rid of them. So pick one as a challenge this year. Pick one of those loans and tackle that loan until you have paid it off. So pay off one debt this year, one big one, pay it off this year. Do that extra you need to do. Whatever it is, pick it and just decide, this year I'm tackling you. You are getting off my list and get rid of that thing. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, the second thing I would like you to do in 2024 to improve your finances is to start saving for your emergency fund. So we've always talked about saving. I've mentioned you need to save like 20% of your salary every month. Some people in this inflation season, you may not be able to do that, but make sure you're at least saving 15%. We've talked about that. So this year, I want you to focus that saving, not just putting it aside. Because sometimes when we say that, people put the 15% aside. By the end of the year, it's not like they have like 15% I'm staying in their account. No, things have happened to that money. It's flown off. It's been used for different things. So this year, I want you to start saving for your emergency fund. And what is an emergency fund? This is if you've not done this before, you should do it. And if you've done this, don't worry, there will be higher levels for you. But don't worry, we are starting in primary school right now. We're not going to university yet. We are in primary school. So start saving for your emergency fund. And normally the practice is that you should have at least 3 times your salary in an account, in a savings account. A savings account with an interest rate, just sitting there, pretty, smiling at you every time you open it. You should just have that money sitting there. That money is your emergency fund. It's the money that allows you to run into someone selling eggs and you broke all his eggs, but you feel confident. It's the money that allows you to drive your car on the streets with confidence, because you know that if anything happens to that car, you can actually take it to the workshop and have it fixed without, losing your mind. It's the money that allows you to, be able to tackle your emergency. There's a real emergency from back home, from wherever it is that is your country of origin. I told you this podcast is actually for diasporans, for Africans living in diaspora. Somebody calls you up, somebody is sick, somebody needs money. That money allows you to be able to tackle those emergencies without going bankrupt. That is your emergency fund. And usually they say you should have 3 times your salary. It's the money that allows you to, if you lose your job today, you're not going to lose your peace of mind, You're going to know that, okay, I can, like we say in Sweden, I can actually survive a few months without going bankrupt. So, yeah, your emergency fund. I want you this year to start saving towards your emergency fund. If you already have one month salary saved, this year hit 2 months salary saved. If you already have 2 months salary saved somewhere, this year is the year that you will hit 3 months salary saved. And if you have nothing, you have 0 in your savings account, this year is the year that you're going to start building that emergency fund. Usually they say it takes like two years to build your emergency fund, your fully funded emergency fund. So I'm saying to you, start saving for your emergency fund in 2024. Now, going on to the third thing I would like you to do. This will answer the question of how you should save for your emergency fund. This is something that I have seen works, and I want to encourage you to do it. It's something that I was like, I have hacked this thing and I'm going to start doing it. And you know me, I'm a generous person, so I've come to share with everybody so that anyone who hears these words can pick them up and run with them. So the second thing is to separate your savings into 2 major pots. Notice I did not say 2 major accounts. I said 2 major pots. One pot is for your long-term savings. That long-term savings is your emergency fund savings. Is the money that whether the rain is falling, there is a snowstorm, there is a hurricane, whatever is happening, that money is going to remain untouched. It cannot be touched. It cannot be used for anything. It cannot, no, nothing can happen. You just have it there sitting pretty. That one is your long-term savings. And then the second one is your short-term savings. I know you're an African in diaspora. I know somebody will call you, something will happen. There is always something. And most of the time you are living from paycheck to paycheck because you are handling too many things. And sometimes it's the reason why you have loans. People call you up and then you go take a loan for them and you use it to sort out yourself. But this year you are saving into your short-term savings. And from your short-term savings, you will do anything that you need to do during the year. So something happened to me a couple of maybe summers back. I was looking at the savings account, was looking good. I was feeling myself, feeling good. And then after summer, I felt like, hey, what has happened? Basically, this my very robust savings account had kwashiorkor after summer, because then there was no money. Oh, we had used the savings to enjoy. So let me tell you something. This idea of putting your savings in two different pots is very, very important. It might be 2 different accounts, 4 different accounts, whatever it is you're doing. But, I love saving in different pots. Like I've told you, my Christmas savings is different from my normal. Yeah. So put your short-term savings in another pot, in a different account, and you save up. You start saving up in January for whatever it is that you want to do during the year. As the year is going to as the year is going on, there might be things that need your attention. You take from your short-term savings. You don't take from your long-term savings. From your short-term savings, you can do different things. And when that money finishes, you'll be looking at yourself and whatever is coming at you, that sorry, I do not have time for you. I do not have the resources to do you. You cut your coat according to your size. You live according to your income. So this is a tip for you. A tip for you, so that your very, very chubby account savings does not develop kwashiorkor in the middle of the year or at the end of the year. Because what we want to do at the end of this year is to look at our account and actually see that money there. See that it is gathering. See that we have actually gathered something this year. So, my challenge to you this year is that you should, 1, pick a debt that you've had for a while and that is just sitting down there, and you have pay it off this year. The second thing I want you to do is start saving towards your emergency fund. And this year, we're saving at least 1 month's salary. 1 month's salary. If you're one salary household, you're saving 1 month's salary. If you're a double income household, you're saving 1 month's income this year. That's what we want to do. At least that. Notice I said at least. I'm not saying that should be your maximum. I'm saying that should be at least what should be in your long-term savings pot by the end of the year. So yeah, that's my challenge to you. And I call those two things the wealth challenge for 2024. Our wealth challenge is 1, we're getting 1 debt free, 1 loan less this year. Number 2, we're saving at least 1 month's salary for our emergency fund. Yeah. Can we do that? Let's do that. So before I go, I like to round up. What I'm saying to you is this year, we do not want your robust savings account to develop kwashiorkor. So please separate your long-term savings from your short-term savings and watch your money grow. So until I come your way next time, this is the Moneymatic's podcast. See you. Bye.